Hi, Slails.
Hello.
Where are we right now?
We are in Las Vegas for the 10X Growth Con, the final one. What a shame.
How many of these events have you been to?
Growth Cons?
Yes.
Either 3 or 4. I have a concussion, so I don't have the best memory.
You have a what?
A concussion. It happened like a month ago. I'm just being dramatic.
She's going to blame it on her sister.
It was my sister's fault, but whatever.
So you've been to 3 or 4 growth cons. And why are you going as a kid to business events?
Well, obviously, in the future, I'm going to be in business. But right now, I've seen it applied really in my personal life, my school life, and in my sports life. So, yeah. I also want me, recently I just had this really good idea. You know how every morning you take 1,000 supplements and you're like, ugh.
Yes.
What if I made something that blended all of them and tasted good?
I mean, I think I'd enjoy it more.
Okay, well, I'm going to start working on that when we get home. And I'm going to come up with a formula.
Okay, so supplements that don't make me want to gag.
And it's all in one. So you have to take like 1,000 every morning.
I do take a lot of supplements.
And it takes about 30 minutes. So when we get home, we can do something for you.
Okay. So,
And once it hits the market, guys.
so you got the idea to do these supplements. I like that.
I do.
Well, you were saying that you've been coming to these conferences and it applies to your life. What do you mean by that?
I'll just give a few examples. For example, a lot of it talks about be obsessed or be average. And I think that applies to my school life in ways about grades and things like that. Because unless I'm really thinking about my future, I'm thinking about where I want to go to college. I'm still like an average student in B's and like C's. And in my sports life, be obsessed or be average. Like, there's so many athletes. There's so many like great athletes too. So I could either be the best out of like this small pond, or I could be amazing. And that's what Grant Cardone taught.
And are you obsessed with school and with your sport?
Yes. Not so much school, definitely sports. I mean, I think that I'm obsessed with not obsessed, it's kind of kooky, like, but the idea of like being successful and like working my way to being there in my life. Not only now, but in the future as well.
So you've grown up in this 10X lifestyle and you've been to all these growth cons. Are there any other events you've participated in?
Okay, believe it or not, my favorite event is not Growth Con. It's the Real Estate Summit. Like, I think I've learned more there than I do at Growth Con for 3 years. Like, no joke.
Why do you love the Real Estate Summit so much?
It's definitely a more intimate setting. And the way it's set up, like, it's like a conversation between you and Grant. Like, Grant is teaching you something right in front of your face, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to go apply this as soon as I get home. You know?
Mm-hmm. And what have you recently done at school because of the Real Estate Summit?
Okay, because of the Real Estate Summit, I taught a lot of my peers how to underwrite a real estate deal. It was like a little assignment we had, and I figured, why not teach them something useful in their future or whatever. Another thing that I've learned from 10X and stages and all these things is the ability to public speak and give interviews like this. So, for example, right now, all the teachers in North Texas are having a conference like this one in a big arena stadium thing. And I've done multiple videos for them that they're going to play there. And I was actually wearing this shirt when we did all the interviews together. So, yeah.
So you're going to be on the screen at the North Texas Teachers Association?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
And who chose you to do that? I
think it was a decision between our superintendent and our principal.
And why did they choose you?
I think it's because I'm the most involved in our school. I think that I have made the most change within our school and our district. And not only because I try to bring the things I learned here and at these events to my school, because a lot of kids don't have access to the knowledge these people do.
It's interesting. Like what?
After this event, I'm probably going to go back and I'm probably going to tell all my friends, student council, everything that we learned and how we can implement that in our events for school and things that we throw for student council.
So everything that you see, you attempt to imitate in some way.
Yeah.
And implement it into your life.
Exactly. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I mean, what Grant does works. So I'm just trying to take that to our school.
That makes a lot of sense. So Frisco ISD is benefiting from Grant Cardone. I just want to make sure everyone knows that. Frisco ISD is benefiting from Grant Cardone. Grant, make sure to quote that. Who is the youngest speaker?
Here,
Uh-huh.
Scarlett
And
Sabrina.
what has that done for you watching them speak on that stage?
I think it's like a relatability thing. I mean, I'm not 80 years old. Not saying that like I don't benefit from an 80-year-old person, but seeing someone at the same stage in life as me, I can learn a lot.
So it's because they're the same age as you?
Yeah.
Is there
Same point in life?
Okay. Is there anything else?
I mean, they are both great speakers, and I think it shows other people like myself and other students that they can also do these things.
So you've been able to watch Scarlett and Sabrina get up on stage since they were little, right? And you were little. How old were you when you came to your first event?
11,
11. And you're how old now?
14.
14. What are some other things that you participated in? You kind of touched on it briefly when you said public speaking.
10X stages. I was a part of the speak off. Sorry, concussion memory. And I placed 13th out of 27,000 people.
13th out of 27,000.
Which actually at the time I was 13, so kind of like a lucky number for me.
You were not even 13. You were 11.
I think, no, it was because I was born on the 13th. Yep. 13th, 11, 13.
She's being very humble right now. You went to a speaking competition that who was supposed to compete in? It wasn't you.
It was you.
And I was eliminated in the first round. And someone told you, who was there supporting me, hey, why don't you get up there? And you won a
golden ticket. I was expecting chocolate, but it's fine.
So these golden tickets, there was more than 27,000. That was the amount of people who auditioned in person. There was another like 10,000 that auditioned virtually. And 158 golden tickets were given out. And you happened to receive one of them.
Yes, I did. And I'm very grateful.
And tell everybody what that meant. Like, okay, how did you go from winning this ticket to finishing number 13?
So between getting the ticket and finishing 13th, we spoke in front of various different judges, including Stormy Wellington, Grant Cardone, Elena Cardone, and Pete Vargas. So, yeah, those are the people deciding who would move on to be speaking at Growth Con.
And how many different things did you have to do to make it to that point? Was it just like you went and spoke once and
no,
that's it?
It was okay. So first there was the whole audition process, and then there was the workshop process with two or three workshops. And after that, it was I think a week of just every day was just trainings and practices. We would go in a room and you can't tell anybody behind you what they're doing in that room. And I remember one of the rooms, it was speak as if you're doing a Facebook Live or something like that. And someone banged on the window, like, it was all loud. It was like a big loud bang on the window. I mean, I thought it was an accident, but apparently it happened to everybody. And I tried to keep my calm, but it was pretty cool. Other rooms were like, speak for 2 minutes, speak for whatever amount of time, speak about this subject, and it was just on the spot and didn't know what it would be about in each room. And it was just a week of that.
And who were you competing against?
I was competing against priests, already established public speakers, athletes, entrepreneurs, people like that.
And some of these people were well-recognized public figures, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Like there were people asking them for their autographs.
Yes, there were.
And you were in that room speaking against them, or I guess, competing against.
Yeah, it was really amazing getting to meet all these people. And now we have great friends like Daryl that we met from it. So, yeah.
Would you say that some of your good friends that you met at the Speak Off?
Yeah, I think that all of our family's good friends, everybody that I really enjoy being around that are adults, I've met here.
You've met here. That's great. So now that GrowthCon is coming to an end,
we're excited for WealthCon
You're excited for WealthCon? All right. Would you recommend someone who's watching this and thinking like, hey, should I bring my kids to a Grant Cardone event? What would you say to them?
I'm gonna cut you off. Definitely. There's so much more that I've learned here than at school or anything similar to school. Like this is things that I'm gonna apply to my real life and things that are actually gonna make me successful. 2 plus 2 is not gonna do anything for my life. Knowing how to underwrite a deal, knowing what to invest in, and knowing how money works is gonna change my life.
Who is your favorite speaker, Haley?
Alina Habba and Martha Stewart.
So Trump's attorney and Martha Stewart.
Yep.
Awesome. Anything else you want to share with the audience?
I have a question for the audience. Who do you guys have winning March Madness? Yeah, women's and men's.
All right. Drop in the comments who you think is going to win March Madness and make Haley's day. Thank you for watching.
I have UConn for women's and Duke for men's.
Love you, Pumpkin.